to be my Valentine. Well, actually, I'm a little late for Valentine's Day. However, I did want to talk a little bit about Valentine's Day and how it came into being. When you think of Valentine's Day, you think of hearts and flowers and candy and cherubs, little babies with wings. That doesn't seem too Christian, because the actual name of the holiday is Saint Valentine's Day. So, I guess the best way to go about doing the research is to take a look at what other cultures were doing on this day, or around this day being February 14th, which is actually not today. The cultures that we will probably want to look at in this instance would be the Romans, and because the Romans oftentimes kind of absorb the beliefs of other cultures that they conquer, we kind of have to see the Greeks. Okay. My kitty PC is wanting to talk to me right now. Oh, she's going to run away. Sweetheart. Her name is PC, which stands for porch cat. The Romans kind of absorb the beliefs of the culture that they're conquering. I believe this probably makes the conversion process a little easier if they can be like, oh hey, look, we got a guy that does that. Oh, and look, we have the same holiday. Look, yeah, wonderful. So, in ancient Greece, there was a festival happening between the dates of February 13th and February 15th. And that festival, excuse the pronunciation, the festival was Lucia, or Lucia. And that festival's birthplace, so to speak, was the Lycaeum, or Lycaeum mountain in Arcadia of the time period. And Arcadia is coincidentally the birthplace of Pan. Now, Pan is usually viewed as a satyr, and he often follows around the retinue of Dionysus, so he kind of liked to party, but he's also a god of pastoral things, pastoral living, of herds, of, shepherds, of farming, of, also, but of the wild as well. So he kind of serves this dual purpose, because the pastoral people, or country folk, live so close to nature that they have this god that kind of straddles the fence, so to speak. Now, the festival, or Feast of Lycia, is not a big one. You may not even find it. I mean, I know in some of the books that I tried to find it in, it was not in there. Basically what it was Lycaon founded the Arcadian town of, he founded the town of Lycosara, and he made a festival and games, and as was their practice at that time period, is they sacrificed humans to Zeus. Now, there's some association with cannibalism, so my best guess would be that part of that sacrifice was consumed by a human, and this is a no-no, because that sacrifice was for Zeus. And that would be my best guess, is that Zeus was peeved, or Pan was peeved, because somebody ate part of their sacrifice. So that individual became a wolf, or a werewolf, for 9 years. And it was also said that if somebody had consumed the flesh of a man, that they would be werewolf or wolf forever. It's really spotty to pin down what this festival was. My best guess would be that somebody became a werewolf for 9 years, but every year they had to keep repeating this festival, or the individual who originally turned into a werewolf would continue to be a werewolf forever, or a wolf forever. Wolves are a big part of this festival. So, along come the Romans. They come rolling up on the Greeks, and they're like, hey, guess what? We have this guy just like your Pan guy. 3 guys, actually. Faunus, Inus, and Lupercus means warder of wolves, or something similar to that. So Lupercalia, which is a holiday associated with Lupercus. So Lupercus and Faunus and Inus and Pan and Zeus and Apollo all kind of shared this title. In Greek, it's Lucaeus, which is he who wards the wolf. So there's this huge association with wolves. Now, Lupercalia took place in the Lupercal cave, where supposedly Romulus and Remus were raised by wolves. And Romulus and Remus were the founders of Rome. So this was probably a kind of important holiday in Rome. So what would happen is they would have the priests there, they would have youths there, generally males, and they would sacrifice a goat to Lupercus, and then they would, probably several goats, probably not just one. Anyway, they would take the hide of the goat and cut it into strips, and they would run through the town, the guys, and try to pop some of the ladies with these goat hide thongs. And it was thought, if you were struck by one of these, it would bring purification for the coming year, also fertility, if you weren't already pregnant, and if you were pregnant, it was thought to bring a easy childbirth followed by a nice healthy baby. So, and you can imagine that there was drinking involved, and at least in my vision there was drinking involved, and everybody's having a good time, and according to the lore, some, the ladies stripped down and ran through the streets, and this wasn't just the poor ladies, this was also the noble women as well. So you may be wondering, now how the hell does this get transferred into St. Valentine's Day? Well, the Valentine that is typically associated, well actually, let me take a step back. Well, there are actually several saints named Valentine. I'm guessing that was probably a common name at the time period. And the Valentine that we typically associate with Valentine's Day was alive during these Roman times, and he was doing some bad things. He was ministering to soldiers and Christians and marrying soldiers, because at that time soldiers could not be married. So he got thrown in jail, and the sentence for all of these crimes, because he was Christian, of course, was he was being put to death. At some point, he made friends with the jailer, who had a nice, lovely daughter, and in some accounts, he fell in love with the daughter, he cured the daughter, or he restored her sight. I think no matter what of these things, I think he fell in love with her. So, the night before he was to be executed, he wrote her a little love note, or a little note thanking her for her kindness, signed Your Valentine. The reason that we're associating this with February 14th was because St. Valentine was buried on Via Flaminia on, guess what, February 14th. So that's why we're associating Lupercalia, all of this stuff, because I'm sorry, if you've got hearts and candy and love, it's going to, kind of point in the direction of fertility. So I think those things they're connected. You can think that they're connected, or a wild coincidence. Now, fun fact, because I can't sign off any video without a skull involved, Valentine's skull is preserved as a relic in the Basilica of Saint Maria in Cosnedin, Rome. One of the St. Valentines, anyway. Happy Lupercalia, Lycia, or Valentine's Day, whichever you celebrate.